Hey guys, what's up and welcome to another episode of the Goodcast Show. So if you guys have been noticing, our news has been filled with unfortunate tragedies that have been taking place in our schools. And recently, the Minister of Education has come up with programs that she wants to put forth as a solution to this problem. So to discuss this further, I have two people who have come on the podcast before, who are educators themselves. We have Kevin, who is back after an interview last year, who works a lot with kids. He teaches kids, so he's in school. He's a teacher and he has many, many years of experience. So he knows what these kids are up to and what the problems they are facing, as well as Dr. Vino, who's back again, who is a psychologist who has worked with kids as well, counseling them through hard times. And so their insight will definitely help us to find out whether what our MOE is doing now is required, will it work, or what can they do better. So please welcome Kevin and Dr. Vino. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, we are good.
Okay,
Thanks
you
for having us.
Very lively. Yeah. So I'll start off with you, Kevin, since you are your interview was the first.
Yeah.
So when you see all these strategies happening in school today, all these problems, right? Your experience with children that you have taught and all that, where is this all coming from?
I personally believe education starts from home. So I think everything starts from home, begins at home.
So you're talking about the family institution.
Yeah. So when that particular structure is unstable and the pillars are not strong, then they'll be very vulnerable to absorb a lot of information which is necessary, unnecessary, which they do not know and are not aware. And because there's lack of monitoring from home itself, I personally believe that's where the root is. Before
when you
going
say,
further,
is it simply a lack of monitoring, or is it a lack of involvement by the parents in the development of their child?
lack of involvement is part of it. Yeah. So I think it's the main thing. Like during the 90s, we had our parents check our homework, and even now maybe parents do check their homework, but they don't check the phone. So they're not aware of what the kids are exposed to, what kind of circle they are exposed to, what kind of people they are talking to, and what are they experiencing in school as well. So they are unaware.
You know, Doctor, you counsel a lot of kids, and in our last interview, you brought a lot of harrowing stories about the stories that these kids have shared with you. I've heard that thing of we parents need to check the phones and what they're talking, right? And I wonder, when a child is, say, as a teenager, do you think that is the best way forward? Because as a teenager, you're sort of creating your own world, your space, you're sort of laying the building blocks, right? And your privacy is a big deal,
Definitely.
So is it checking the phone, or is it sort of building a more stronger self-esteem, self-value, self-love? I mean, what's the answer there?
Yes. So first and foremost, we have to look into our children now. We cannot parent them like how parents parented them before. Old school doesn't work. So if you ask me, you cannot simply just check their phones at this time. You have to build the trust with them first. So what is important here? You have to communicate with them. You have to give a safe space for them to be themselves. So first, if you want to know what's happening in their lives, who they are talking to, what is their conversation about, you need to be there for them first. So you have to start the conversation. Okay, look, you're a teenager now. It's okay to have crushes. It's okay to have, liking. If you like someone, you can talk to me about it. You see, because when I was a teenager, share your own experiences with them and open up that space. They want that, actually. To tell you the truth, when I work with kids, the first thing they tell me is that their parents are not giving them that space. The first thing they do is they just, they're very rough. They take the phone and the littlest thing triggers their parents. Hey, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? What are you talking? This is not what they want. They want their parents to ask, who is this? And then they want to tell them, why are you so close to this person? What's going on? So this is what we are talking about. This is safe space, and they don't have it at home.
So building a
sadly.
trust and a sort of bond with your kids to be open with you, right?
Yes.
So again, back to you, Kevin. Do you believe in the old school way of teaching, like what Dr. V is saying now? She's saying no, old school is bad. I'm on your team. I believe it's bad the rod spoil the child. But what do you think?
No,
See, I'm trying to create a fight here.
I wouldn't say don't need to raise the rod, but it's just a matter of at this point of time, the kids are multi-talented, very sensitive, very smart, for all the right and wrong reasons also. So there is this instance where even parents do their parenting and also very open, but because of certain social media exposure, it tends to. I think I've heard of the word brain rot, and brain rot came from Roblox. And basically, I dare code it, they can sue me. It's fine. So this term called brain rot, there are certain games where you actually kill each other. So that part of it, they are not going to tell the parents, because part of the people who play with them are also adults who actually tell them not to tell their parents. So they build a sense of trust with unknown persons, and we can't blame a 10-year-old or an 8-year-old who's not aware of anything when they fall into this, because these kind of applications, when they go unmonitored, right? What happens is, like, there is this thing called parental control. Everybody has that.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Malaysian parents have this thing where they don't want to set the parental controls. For some reason, I do not know why. Even though, even if Donald Trump says it or anybody says it, they are not doing it. So when it comes to primary kids, when they are exposed to this, they are actually influenced by the game. But the predators of sort of like all these pedophiles and all that, they use this as a method as a hook or a bait to bait them into the system.
Now, one of the things that I've sort of noticed is, and I'm sure you guys have noticed it as well, is the increase in the level of aggression that is there in these kids, these young kids, right? Where is that coming from? I'll start with you first, yeah.
Okay. Let's just say many variables to it.
Yeah.
I think one of it being that the kind of content that they are exposed to. So, for example, like recently, I think Charlie Kirk, he got shot. Even an 8-year-old kid knows about it. So, but he is more fascinated of the assassination rather
As
than...
opposed to the loss of a person.
Yeah, so
there's no empathy then.
Yeah, because they play PUBG.
What is that?
It's a shooting game, a very famous shooting game. And PUBG and Call of Duty and all these games where they use snipers and all that. So when they see that, they are more interested in sharing how the person got shot rather than having that empathy of a person being shot like that. So they don't understand.
So on that, Doctor, do you think, in your experience counseling children, do you see a growing lack of empathy in kids?
Okay, I want to be honest with you.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so to tell you the truth, when you give time and space for children, you will be surprised. The things that they share with you, they are empathetic, yes, but they lose it along the way because of a lot of triggers and variables, as he said. Like, one could be, yes, social media and games, but these are not the only factors that are driving our kids towards aggression, violence, and all that, right? It's also because they are very lonely at home. Some parents, yes, they are there, but they are only there for some period of, like, only for a short time. But because they are busy, they have their own things to do and all that. But children are going through so many things. I just wanted to pick on the case at Banda Utama, right?
Yes,
so that
yes.
showed violence to the core. And first they said that the girl was stabbed 50 times, and then later the mom made a press conference saying that post-mortem is like 200 stab wounds. 200 or more. Like, she had 200 stab wounds, right? And if you
I don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah, that's possible, let me tell you. Because when they, somebody taped him walking, right? They videotaped him.
I saw that, yeah.
So if you see the way he walked, you could see that he was not present in that moment, because children like this, when they burst, not only children, I mean adults also, right? When something just bursts in you, they don't even realize where they are at until after a certain period of time, they realize what they did. So in this case, why did he stab her that many times? It's because he had so much of suppressed feelings inside of him, and he did not have any space to express. Let me give you the exact statement from his own dad. When they interviewed the dad, so the dad actually realized that the kid is very quiet and he always keeps to himself. And the dad even mentioned in the Chinese paper and in the Chinese media, he says that even when the kid seems troubled and the kid is sad, he doesn't speak, he doesn't share, he doesn't open up. But the question here is, the dad knows, the dad sees, but the dad did not give space and time to ask the kid, why are you like this? Because the dad said that.
Oh, what's going on?
What's
Have a
going
conversation.
on? No conversation, nothing. So he was so lonely. He did not have that support at home. So where did he go? He went into social media and games. So his notebooks, right? Like he wrote many things in Chinese because they said that his BM wasn't good or something. So they put him in Paralihan class. That's why he was still Form 1 even when he was 14. So his books, they had a lot of terms from games like NPC and things like that. But to tell you the truth, many children share this with me. They go into playing games because that seems to be their therapy. That is a place where they can express their feelings, and they like to play like some sort of like the shooting games or like even Roblox, many kinds of like violent kind of games. They are just doing that because they're so angry. They don't have a space to express. But when I do programs with them, when I give them that space, they come and tell me, if we have this, we will not be going to this platforms. If somebody is there to listen to us, to our feelings, to our emotions on what is happening in a daily basis, we will feel not, we won't be like this. Because
But on that point,
Yeah.
just to build on what Kevin said just now, I want to give another example,
Sure.
something that I saw online in a TED Talk, where this lady from the US talked about our relationship with sex. Where she said that the biggest problem with humans and our relationship with sex now is because the first exposure we have to sex is pornography. Where sex is oftentimes depicted in very beastly, barbaric, we wouldn't say but beastly ways, right? There is no love or sort of around it. There is no understanding of the meaning behind it or the significance of it. It's just the act itself. And that is why we see when these people grow up to adults, their relationship with sex is as such. So isn't that what he's saying, where you are saying that the exposure to these games, this violence, is shaping their way of communicating with another? So is it that, or because what you're saying sounds like I have pent up aggression, so that justifies me hurting someone? No, I mean it can in another way.
Yes.
But isn't it also the fact that today, like when we were growing up, our relationships with other people started on the playground. So it's person to person.
Yes.
Whereas now it's in a virtual reality, which is video games and all, and then they transpose that into real life. So isn't that the problem?
That's the thing. They're transferring it just because they don't have that connection with real people. They're not able to express it. So what happens is, like when for from my perspective and my work with the kids, because they are able to express everything to me, I give them that space, and when they know that nobody is judging them, they tell me their littlest secrets and private and confidential stuff, even when it comes to sexual stuff and all that. But they don't get that at home. So for example, let me tell you just one quick example from my recent program with the Mitra kids that I've been doing it for 2 months now. One of the kids, she's Form 4. So her parents are both not in the picture. The dad killed himself and the mom left her to her auntie, and they are taking care of her since she's Form 2.
Okay.
So what happens is they beat her every day. They bash her up at home. Just
Who?
The auntie, the guardian. The guardian, and she still goes to school. She wants to study, and she tells me, Akka, I want to finish my Form 5, go to college so I can live my life. But the thing is, what she's going through at home, for example, so when she has problems at home, she comes back and tells the auntie listens for like 1 minute, and then after that quickly blames her. Everything is happening because of you, and whacks her. So she gets bruises and wounds. She showed me all this. And then the teachers are trying to help, yes. But when I give her that space, I ask her this question. Okay, when this happens to you, I'm sure you'll be very angry. You feel like hurting someone or yourself. Do you do that? So she tells me, yes, Akka, I do that. I self-harm myself. So she cuts herself. So you see, this is what they are being violent towards themselves, not towards another person.
Because that's the only reality they know.
That's the only reality they know, right? So they cut themselves, right? So she cuts herself. So I ask her, what happens? I cannot, see, that's the thing. You cannot tell them, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. You cannot do this. It's wrong. When you do that, they stop talking to you. They stop
The walls come up.
The walls come up.
Now, Kevin, in your experience being a teacher in all, you've taught in almost all schools, like Chinese schools, Kebangsaan schools and all that. How involved are the parents in the development of the kids in school?
You want an honest answer?
I want a very honest answer.
Only during exams. It's only during exams. Let's face it.
Yeah.
When I see the result, then I know the seriousness of it. But it's only for 1 week. After that, they go back to their normal holidays in Genting and concerts and all this, and then after that, game over, back to normal. Parents are also depressed, but the
Parents
pathetic,
are depressed.
Yeah, that's the pathetic thing now. Every parent quotes they are depressed, but nobody asks you to bring these children.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
and when you quote depression when you are a parent, I think you don't deserve to be a parent.
Yes.
Better to sell the kids to welfare home, because a parent has to be
Sorry, can you come inside a bit?
a parent has to be
No, you're fine. You can
mentally
inside.
stable to raise a child. Your divorce issues or whatever is between two adults, but to bring kids into it, to channel that, like I'm an adult who's 30 plus or maybe 40 plus getting a divorce, and I'm talking to a 12-year-old or 13-year-old about this, which is absolutely absurd and stupid, to be honest with you. That child is going to grow up or adult faster than what we think.
Yeah.
And when the parents are depressed, for instance, a father's role is when he's to come back and spend time with the kids, not sit with his friends and have drinks and beers on a regular basis. Yeah, once in a while is fine, but you have a responsibility at home. You have to carry that. But when parenting is now, parental depression now is common.
What is that? Parental depression? What is
like
that?
parenting is depressing. Like giving birth is depressing, raising is
You
depressing.
mean that's an actual thing?
No, it's a term I came up on my
Oh,
own.
you came out. Okay. Parental depression.
Because like during my time, my mom, she worked as well, and she still could get up at 4 a.m. and she would still do whatever she needs to do. But thank God, my father is one supportive man, and he equally does it. So when she comes home, she still cooks, but there's never a time where she actually said that I'm depressed. She never said that.
Okay.
That can be because of my grandmother's upbringing or of 8 kids and all that.
So what you're saying is that the parental institution in our homes now, with modern day kids now, kids who are primary school and all that, is not sufficient to build them up.
Yes, we are not raising lions to hunt. We are raising circus lions. That's the reality
powerful.
today.
What does that mean?
That means during our younger age, when parents teach us to wash our own clothes, to wash our own plates,
and
to
all that.
wash our own shoes, actually they are raising us to be independent. In fact, they allow us to make independent decisions of whether we want to play football in the evening. Nowadays, if you come back dark, parents are asking, how come you're very dark? Of course, you play in the sun, you're going to get dark.
Yeah.
They are even body shaming their own kids.
Yeah.
This is happening. Like,
So in your experience teaching, the parents that you have dealt with in your years of teaching, they are only there for 1 week.
yeah.
And then the rest of the year, they don't really bother much about the kids.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, the father who came and said that, his son is always quiet and all that. I mean, saying after your son stabbing somebody is pointless. This could have been addressed earlier.
Yes.
The fact that he's in a Paralihan class, that itself is a challenge for him.
Yes.
Because I do not know whether all the Paralihan classes are the same, but I can share my experience where in my time of studying and even when I was teaching partially in a government school for 6 months, Paralihan classes are the ones that are least attended to. This is the reality. They're left to be on their own. Anybody can say anything, but this is my opinion because I've been there. And Paralihan classes are always labeled as the naughty class. So if you ask me, is Paralihan class necessary? The quotation on because BM is not good and all that, I think even the current Form 1 kids BM is atrocious to the core. So there's no need to have a Paralihan class.
Just mix them all up one
mix
shot.
them all up
Yeah.
together. But the point is that for that boy to even have all these tools with him in the school, now getting back to, okay, yes, parents one side, but the school institution also has a responsibility. Because they have counseling teachers in the schools. You can already shortlist the students who are problematic.
Okay, that's interesting because that's been brought up as well,
Yeah.
right? To identify, I think in Parliament it was brought up. One of the suggestions was, in fact, it was by Adon in Selangor of Taman Medan here. In fact, I just interviewed him today, and he was in some of his write-ups. He talks about how we need to identify these students early. So both of you, I'll start with you first, Doctor. How do we identify a student? What are the symptoms that we see that we could sort of pluck them out of a crowd and say, okay, this boy or girl may end up doing something dangerous in the future?
Okay, so they do have this Saringan Minda Sihat, but it's
Okay.
not enough because that's like, they get them to report it themselves, and not all the kids, they actually honestly report it. So the thing is, you see, like every teacher in a class, let's say she has like 40, they have like 40 kids in a class, right? They must know each and every kid in and out. Like, for example, the changes in their emotions or feelings, how they're talking and how they have been. So if you're teaching the same kid for that one semester, for example, before the first school break, you can see the changes. If a kid is a bubbly kid, like for example, a kid that talks a lot, suddenly you can see that the kid is a bit quiet, even a little quiet, not fully quiet, just a bit quiet. You must go and ask the kid, are you okay today? Why are you not like how you are always? But teachers don't do that. They don't even notice the tiniest change in a child. So like, for example, we come back to this kid, right? Okay, before we go back to this case, there was another case. This is sad because recently the dad actually found the notebooks of the boy. I'm sure you guys remember this case because it just happened 1st of October. Year 4 kid was found dead in the school restroom, school bathroom, right? First they said they didn't know what happened, but I actually got the news earlier because I know a teacher and she told me what happened. And then later they revealed that he actually hung himself in the school vicinity, in the school bathroom. And he was only 10. So the thing is, how did this happen? How did this happen? How did people fail to notice what has been going on in his life? Because he has been battling with a lot of things. And recently the dad is now coming up and saying that they found his books, and in his books there are many notes in his books, but they're only finding it now. They're only finding out about
After the
this now.
event.
After he, and
After the case.
yeah. So I even wrote this. The one thing that he said that what was in the book was, I want you to die tomorrow. So someone else, another child, another friend of his, classmates, because that happens, right? Children like to write in their friends' books. So I want you to die tomorrow, but I don't know whether you'll go to heaven or hell. So this was in his book, one of the many
Somebody
notes.
had told him this.
Yeah. And he sleeps with his sister. So they share the same bedroom, right? So he was actually sharing this to his sister. But I'm not sure if she's a younger sister or an older one, but she just heard. She listened, but she didn't talk about it later on to her parents. She kept it to herself.
No, you can't expect that from them.
But she's a kid, right?
What would they know?
Exactly. But
That's why we have parents.
these were all in his books. And okay, the parents failed when it comes to this, right? But I'm going back to the school. So now you see the teachers who taught him, can be his PE teacher, can be his agama teacher, all the, his homeroom teacher. They would have definitely noticed that he was, not the same for a period of time, because they just don't do this suddenly. Today I want to kill myself. I won't kill myself today. I will think about it. I will be sorrow. I'll be like very sad. My face, my reactions, they will all change. People will notice, but they don't take it seriously. So this is what I'm telling you.
No, I mean, while you're talking about this, I just remember when I was in school, I remember I had like 2 or 3 teachers who sometimes, they would like ask you to stay after school and sit down with you and talk and all that, have a conversation with you. So Kevin, in your experience as a teacher, is this possible for teachers to be more involved in that way, more micromanage, or is it the class sizes are too big, the workload is too much, they have to write reports on all students every day? Is it possible?
Actually, I don't know if you're aware or not. We need to find out why people become teachers these days. Whether it's for passion or because their grades are very bad.
I don't know.
You
answer the question.
In one scenario, I would just say, if you go on TikTok today, you can see a lot of teachers from the Maktab Perguruan or whatsoever coming on live streaming and asking for gifts and all this nonsense. So at the end of the day, these are the teachers our kids are going to end up with. Sock mat teachers. We are lauding teachers who are showing their teaching and learning through social media. And then when the people talk about it, that's when the laws come in and say that, okay, you cannot do it. But it's still being done. Every school is now under a marketing banner whereby they want to market their school. They want to show event after event and what they're doing and so on. And at the end of the day, I think I even saw some glamorizing of certain, protests. even amongst children. So
I know what you're talking about. Recently,
and the
during the
logic,
ASEAN summit,
doing the boats and all that, and the
Yeah.
logic is because we want them to know humanitarian, but humanitarianism, they have to understand.
Yeah,
that
you have to
part
understand
of-
the concept
The
first.
concept
Yeah.
of it
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
When as a child they do not know, and they are making fake guns to shoot, that becomes a serious issue later, because they might see the other person who's an enemy on a random day as a terrorist, for instance. So when it comes back to this, the quality of teachers we have. You see, when a guy is holding a knife and walking around a school, there are so many teachers there. There's a security officer there, and nobody could stop him. I think our schools are not safe. In just point blank.
But if I were a teacher, just to be on the teacher side a bit, if I were a teacher, and again, I don't want to be like, back in my day it was the best and all that, but I remember when if you did something wrong, the teachers would call your parents, and then immediately your parents will come, and then you'll go home, get a nice beating and all that, and then those things will happen. Today, if from based on what you all are saying, especially what you're saying about how teachers are there, I mean, the parents are there only for 1 week in the whole year. If I'm a teacher and this student A has a problem, whom do I go to? Whom do I call? Why do I want to bring this trouble onto me when there's no outlet? I don't have a mechanism to go to report him or to send him to some rehab or some character development or something, which we will come to soon. But yeah.
Well, some people say the rotan actually works.
Yeah, Lim Guan Eng said that recently.
Yeah, but
Cherutong
I
also.
think Lim Guan Eng, maybe he didn't understand. Some of us have thick butts, No matter how much they hit, we don't feel pain. We do have this kind of people. Let's face it.
Sorry, guys, he meant that metaphorically.
So we when I was in school, there were certain boys who like, cikgu rotan lah. Rotan. Ada biasa. They would say that. So which means that no matter what you cane, they're still going to do the same thing.
But have you all, I'll go to you, doctor, have you met a child who's exhibited signs where you feel that, okay, this child is a threat?
Yeah, so I've met so many kids. I'm dealing with so many kids. See, the first threat, right? It goes to themselves first. So that goes back to their self-harming and suicidal ideations, right? So the thought to harm another person. Okay, so I can come back to my program and the kids. So when all these kids, they have various backgrounds, various stories. A lot of them shared also how their parents bring them into the fights that they have between each other. And just yesterday I did one program yesterday was with the Selangor kids. So this girl told me, Akka, every time before I start, I'll tell me how was your week. Just tell me what happened. So everyone will tell me. So this girl said, Akka, my week was quite bad. So I said, okay, you tell what happened. So she said, my parents were fighting and then they bring me inside. They brought me inside the fight. I said, why did they bring you inside the fight? What did you do during that time? So they were fighting, Akka. They always fight and they always bring me inside and then they start scolding me and they start hitting me. And then, when
they are fighting and then
they are fighting and then because of the anger,
damage,
collateral damage, and then they started hitting the girl. So I said, and then I told her, I asked her, this is not the first time, right? She said, no. So I can't take it. So I go in, I run to the room, I lock the room, and I start banging my head on the wall. Because she can't take the pressure. She can't take it because it happens all the time. So I said, okay, when you bang your head, it's going to hurt you, right? So do you stop? Then she said, yes, Akka, after some time I get giddy, I stop. But she said, now I know I have you because this kid doesn't have a phone. She doesn't, she only comes for the program using the teacher's device. So I told the teacher to set up Google Chat so that I can call, they can do video call and do voice chatting with me. So I said, after this, you do Google Chat with me. Call me or immediately if you feel like you want to do that, you call me. Don't go and hit yourself. So she said, sometimes I feel so angry. Can I tell you, Akka? She asked. Tell. I feel angry that I feel like I want to take a knife and stab my parents. So you see, she's telling that she has that kind of thoughts. This is not only her. I deal with boys too. So you see, in this group, there's one school, boys' school, but they requested, they said, Akka, can we do sessions separately because we don't want to do with the girls because their way of talking and sharing will be different. I said, okay, so I spend extra time with them. I give them another day. So same goes with the boys. They will. I'll tell them, look, whatever you feel, whatever you want to tell me, you tell me. Don't be worried. Don't think that I'll judge you. I'll tell you that it's wrong to think like this. No, I'm just going to listen. Whatever you're sharing here is valid, but express it. So that's when they'll tell me, no, sometimes it goes on and on and on. We can't take it. We have these kind of thoughts, like how nice if we can just take my knife and stab them. And this happened in Malacca. Like, I think I spoke about this when I saw you.
No, I would have remembered the story.
This happened. Remember the Chinese boy who stabbed his mom and his brother in Malacca, if I'm not mistaken. I think I forgot. Yes. So you see what happened there. So you see the neighbors and people who know them, right? They were sharing that in that house, every day they can hear the mother shouting and scolding the children, especially this boy, because his brother was doing well in school and he wasn't. And he was the second child. There was another younger brother. So this kept happening. So I'm sure he had that feeling in him, but he couldn't express the anger. He couldn't express his feeling and emotions to anyone. Nobody came up to him and said, look, okay, today I'm here. You tell how you're feeling, what you're going through. Because these kids, they actually just want a place to express their feelings without being scolded, without being judged, and without people looking at them weirdly and thinking they're going to become some kind of a criminal. No, actually, that's...
So what you're saying is that these kids are pushed to the wall so much by their circumstances that this is them reacting.
Reacting, but they don't want to react, actually. So that is why they end up harming themselves. So just... before I started the program, one girl, the father was scolding her so badly because he was fighting with the mother. She couldn't take it. She took a knife and she slashed her hand.
But I'm curious because when I do agree with spare the rod, you spoil the child. Maybe I'm too old school. But Kevin, from what I'm hearing doctors saying now, it sounds as if that's not the right way. A lot of it is coming from aggression that is thrown at the kids. So if that's not the right way, then how should we handle it? If you can't reprimand a child, if there's no consequences to their actions, then isn't that part of the reason why things have become like this, where they can do whatever they want and there's not really a repercussion?
On a personal note, I think a child is a child until at least they're 18.
Yes.
The one should be punished is parental negligence. I think this is a scope that's being blinded. I don't know whether knowingly or unknowingly.
So to sum it up, you guys are saying that the source of the problem are the parents.
Definitely.
Home, parents, society.
Because at the minor, when there's a age group, there's a reason why we call them minor and major. And the teenage period is where the crisis comes in. The changes, the physical changes, mental changes, the chain of thought, everything changes. The emotional aspects and all that. And that is the time where the children need the parents the most. To be a shadow, to guide them towards the right path. But at times when, like a kid is naughty is normal. I think mischievous.
In fact, I would rather my children naughty.
Being mischievous is normal.
Yeah.
But during those times, being mischievous itself, you get whacking non-stop. But at this point of time, I think most children feel neglected.
Yes.
I think that's the part where the parents are always like, they give excuses regarding, okay, my kid was bullied, after he dies, you talk about it, no point.
Yeah.
But
you as a teacher, have you ever had the chance to sit down with parents and talk to them and tell them, look, your child needs more attention?
I'm fed up of it. Honestly, sometimes I feel like, we are talking to walls.
Yeah.
Because as a parent, the term parent itself tells you, you're supposed to raise your kid.
Yeah.
It comes without saying. And there are also laws in this country with Child Protection Act and all that. And you're not afraid of the law. And you think that I don't need to raise, I'm not obliged to raise. If I have a divorce, instead of raising the kid, they are discussing who should pay for what. Then the mental part of it, it's not being addressed.
Yeah. In any divorce, the child is the biggest loser.
The child is the biggest loser. But there are some parents who are very practical. I think it's like 1 out of 100 maybe, or thousands maybe. But most of them end up in a wrong scenario, especially when they remarry and stuff.
Yeah.
And it happens very common now. At this point of time, divorce is common, parental depression is common, and when the child is neglected, that is why they would get into all these kind of like resentments, hate. They are not naturally hate speech people.
Yeah.
So basically, if I'm hearing you correctly, it's like the absence of certain parenting
Yeah.
creates voids that these kids then fill up with anything, and
Yes.
sometimes they fill it up with games and violence and hatred and all that, right? Okay, so let's move to the next part of this then, which is of course what's being done by MOE. So, firstly, I'd like to get your opinion first, then yours, Kevin. What do you is this one ministry approach, or is this a multi-ministry approach? Because, like what you all are saying, the family institution is to be blamed, right? So that means the Jabatan, what is it called? Jabatan Wanita and
Keluarga
also is there.
Yeah.
So now everything is being shouldered on MOE. Should it be that way, or do you think this approach of just it should be a multidisciplinary approach, or putting everything on MOE is not fair as well?
Yeah.
But so now, if it should be a multi approach, right? What is MOE doing now? And maybe Kevin, you can start first. That you feel that you can see happening in the classroom, and is it enough?
Are they doing anything?
No, apparently they're going to have 2 teachers.
I asked
They're
the
going to
same
have a
thing
character
last time.
development.
Yeah.
You know, it's 2025, but we don't have CCTVs in school.
But is that the answer though? Because I think the one in that boy had, right, the school.
That school had,
But
but not
not at
many.
every corner,
Yeah,
right?
Not at every corner. Yeah.
I think every classroom needs it, maybe, or even every corner. If there is a CCTV, I think everybody would know that they're being watched. One, teachers won't be late to their classes. Number 2,
Is that a problem now?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in the case of if you look at that one, that the girl, I'm not sure if she was raped or consensual or whatever they were talking about it. These guys had the time to do it in the classroom,
Oh, yeah.
and that's actually amazing because, wow, there's so much time.
Yeah.
To video record, to do all this nonsense in the classroom, and nobody is walking at the corridor at that point of time.
Yeah,
There's nobody walking at all. No CCTV to even show who's going in and out and all that. So basic, the school is supposed to be a safe space, and that's MOE's job. The safe space needs to be there. Second thing is, there needs to be patrol time to time. Spot checks need to be done. And for someone to actually have enough guts to bring a knife and even enter the school, if that student is already, you already know that there's a case. If there's severe punishments and so on, I think it could have been avoided. For example, if somebody vapes in school, why do we give them a second chance?
So what do you think we should do? Expel them?
Expel.
Wow. Just for vaping?
Because
I used to sneak out to play Counter-Strike. I would have been without education now.
When you do it to one, like in the case of bullying, if you have zero tolerance to bullying, I think it will stop. Because everybody knows that, the parents also know that.
There's a consequence.
There's a consequence, which means you're going to get kicked out. You're going to get blacklisted. So the only way you're going to study is if you go to a private school.
No, I love this because I can see both of you all differ in your approach. You're more the compassionate, you're more the tough love, and you are the, you know.
Because, I mean, as in MOE is, if you cannot provide good counselors that can handle them emotionally, then don't allow that to affect other kids. It's as simple that, you see, if there are good counselors who can actually monitor these kids and change them, or teachers who can change them, the system works because we can transform them. But when we have a system where I just clock in and clock out, I don't care about other people's stuff because I'm a parent myself and I've got things to do. And with the number of MCs and all that's happening nowadays, I think personally, even the kids are coming to the schools, they're not getting any benefits at all.
Now, just on that, so Doctor, he's saying that he wants CCTV in schools. There's been a lot of calls now. Some of the things I've read is that they're asking for police now to be in school, in classrooms and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, what's happening? And then character development classes and all that. And you just informed me that now they want 2 teachers in a classroom.
2 teachers today.
So is all of this going to work?
So the thing is, it's not going to work if you first don't equip yourselves with what is happening now. See, I agree with you, like teachers. They're coming because they just want to clock in and clock out and then go back to their lifestyles. But if you don't have the dedication and commitment towards your kids, and if you don't have the drive to learn what is happening now, then you're not going to transform anything.
This you're talking is on the teachers and the parents, or just
Teachers and parents.
Okay,
So
okay.
I also want to tell you this. You see, in Malaysia, I don't want to talk about other countries. Malaysian parents, teachers, and all these counselors, okay, they do go for training and all that. I just want to quote something here. You know that case that you were mentioning, there were two in two states. One was in Kedah, but before that, the Malacca case came out. And in both cases, the boys are now charged as rapists, right? But actually, to tell you the truth, these are just consensual sex, kids trying out things. Because one of the videos went viral, and another
of the act itself.
of the act itself. It's very sad, but at the same time, it's the reality. Because to tell you the truth, the kids are learning this the wrong way. Okay, just now, going back to what you said, right? Sex equals to porn, right? That's
our first
they're
introduction.
they're learning
Yeah.
the wrong things the wrong way by seeing the wrong things, because nobody is actually having the talk with them. Go back to homes, go back to schools. You cannot hide this now from them. You cannot, because they're finding out things as young as 9, 8. They're already knowing all these things. Now, coming back here. So when these things happen, the girls are also in it. But when the parents are finding out, this happens because of the videos that they take and they keep for themselves, gets out. What the father does, because they don't want the daughter to be blamed, they go and report. The moment you report, the boys get it. So that's the thing. So the parents and the teachers, they all need new approaches. You cannot hide things. You cannot talk to them in a way where, hey, you cannot do all this, this is bad touch. If like this, that, you tell a girl, she's not going to listen. If she's in love with the boy, they want to try things. They're seeing things. They want to try things. It's suka sama suka. So you need different approaches. How do you talk to children like this? So now, like going back to my program, the girls, I'm doing separate for boys and girls. So I tell these girls, I tell them, okay, today we're going to talk about relationship, love, feeling, crush, everything. They said, really, Akka, you're going to talk this with us? I said, yes, I'm going to give you the platform. You guys are teenagers. You all are Form 4, Form 3. It's not wrong to like anyone. It's not wrong to have feelings. But I just want to listen what you're going through. Tell me, and then see if there's any toxic elements. I will help you to get out of it. If you think things are not certain, you're feeling that you're doing something wrong, you can tell me. I can, guide you. So they were very happy. In fact, they all took about 30 minutes each to share everything that has been going on in their lives. So when they are able to open up like this, then you can have that talk with them. Look, love and sex, love doesn't mean sex, You can tell them this in a subtle way and slowly approach.
So you are talking about a case-by-case basis. I mean, the
yes.
teachers get involved, the parents talk individually, right?
Yes, not only about sex though, but in general.
Yeah, thankfully. When you're talking that, I'm thinking myself, how am I going to talk to my 3 daughters about it? Never mind, that's my wife's department.
Yes.
She'll do it. I'm not getting close to that. So, but what I'm saying is that, do you think what is done by the ministry now is the way forward?
No.
So, okay, then, Kevin, what then should be done? Let's start with you. What then should be done? Besides the CCTV and,
I said no,
having...
then you said
I'm trying to get you all to fight here. Come on, guys.
No,
We're agreeing on a lot of things.
It's very hard to, because the scope, if there's one problem, you can narrow it down with one solution.
Yeah,
There's a lot of problems.
a lot.
Character development is already there in moral education.
Yes.
But it's not taken seriously, right? Remember, moral was already a subject we learned just because we don't want to.
But you don't need another spin-off of that. You can just use that subject to carry this particular thing. Character development starts with role modeling. So I think basis of character development, if you're going to have a teacher who's going to come in and nag every time, and then you're going to teach the kids character development, they are going to turn around and say that you teach your teacher first. So we as teachers have to be, our characters have to be accurate first, to be honest with you. I don't even know whether I fit the bill or not. But our set of teachers who are going to show kids the right thing to do, that is one. And then if you ask me what MOE should do, I think MOE should shift its paradigm to focusing on more education than events. To be honest with you, I personally feel that MOE schools have got too many events and too many holidays. And how are you going to build characters? Because the main idea of them coming to school is to get grades, to focus on their education part of it.
Yeah.
And when they are given that objective, and when the approach is just that, the objective is there, the target is there, the competition is there. There is a set of approach. We don't have UPSR, so literally primary school is all like kabi gushi kabi gum. Everybody is like having a family time, and I think lower primary has got no exams at all from standard 1 to standard 3. So how are we monitoring their objective of coming to school? How do they set?
Is the current way of doing things whereby I see, in fact, the other, a very sad video I saw online, I think, but this was in Singapore, where this kid was being interviewed, a young boy, I think maybe late primary, early secondary, I think it's late primary. And then he said, when he said, so the guy asked him, how is your day? He said, it's very tiring. He comes back from school, he goes to this class, that class, this class, that class. Their life has become, I think it comes back to what you said about we're not raising lions, but we're raising more like circus lions. They are meant to perform.
Yeah.
Kids are meant, it's like a trophy. See, my child has got 8 A's and all that. It's never about the development, the fun time parents spend with kids and all that. And these kids burn out.
Yeah, they
right?
do.
So again, I think, is it fair to say from this conversation that maybe the solution is not with MOE? It's with the home.
No, I think MOE is responsible also. Because
Everyone
if you,
plays a role,
because if you,
But who plays the bigger role? Because I do sympathize with MOE because for them to, it seems like they themselves are just shooting everything at the board and to see what sticks. You see, having police in schools, caning, bringing back caning, and all this. They're just trying something, But it seems like what y'all are saying, in fact, from all your examples, the problem starts in the home.
Yes.
yeah.
So the majority's responsibility is at the home.
Yes.
I'll disagree with that.
Okay,
First time.
finally, my goodness, we are just
Something
about
to
to finish. It took me 1 hour to get you all to disagree.
I'll disagree with that. Because the number of hours spent in school, let's just say you go in at 7:30, you come back at 1, literally half day. That half of the time that you spend there is like about 50% of a day, approximately. Okay, and then both parents are working, so it's understood. But teachers also play a role, equivalent. Because in a school, stakeholder is a three-way stakeholder, which is parents, teachers, and also the kids. The triangulation is there. The thing about it is, I personally think MOE and also the parents, there is PIBG, and then these parents don't attend. So you cannot give your viewpoints. When your kids are failing, you're supposed to question what teaching methodologies are being used.
I want to ask you another question because you experience and teaching in different schools. Is the response to PIBG the same across these schools?
Yeah.
Yes, they don't come.
I think international schools, parents' involvement is still minimal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they are supposed to have a AGM every year and call all the parents to give their viewpoints and so on, which many schools don't practice it. I dare say it even now. Most parents don't know that they have a voice there. They go through the classroom teacher. So this two-teacher system has already been implemented in many countries. Homeroom teacher and subject teacher is there. But still we had shooting in US, right?
Yeah.
Still we have somebody carrying a gun and shooting people in US. So there are a lot of, like there's one video, AI video showing that we have to scan for guns, which is true. We have to scan already because we don't know if he's carrying a gun or a knife or whatever. So if you have to put through the scanners, we have to put through. No choice.
Okay, Doctor, what he's saying again is, I agree. In fact, I was thinking that when I saw that case happen in Amansara, I said maybe in US I've seen where the kids walk through the metal detector and all that. But again, if we have all this, the two-teacher system and all that, aren't we again removing the shoulder of responsibility from the parents, the burden of responsibility.
Yes, I just want to talk about this. Thanks for asking me this. Parents play important roles as well. And what I feel MOE should do, what they should make mandatory is about this Parents-Teacher Association. They have to make a system for that. Make the parents, it's a mandatory thing. So make it like okay, if you don't participate, if you don't come for the programs that we're organizing for you to understand what's happening, for example, they must do programs to, tell them the reality, how the children are communicating, what's happening in their lives, how you should approach them. There are many people like us here, to do these programs. So invest in this kind of programs, make it mandatory. So that means you tell, okay, if you don't come for these programs, then it's going to, we have to think about your child being able to come to the school. Make something like that, like what you were saying, right? Some punishments for the parents as well. So then they'll take things seriously. Oh, I have to go. If not, it will impact my kid or something like that. Because you see, there's no point we only talk about the children. As you said, I agree. Kids are kids, and they're so curious now, and they're learning, and they're getting involved in many things that they shouldn't be involved in, and then they don't know where to express. Homes are not safe for them. Schools are not safe for them. So parents need to know this so that they are aware. So at least they know, okay, if I'm a divorced parent, never mind. These are the things I still should do for my kid.
You should still keep it cordial.
Yes. And if I'm separated, okay, never mind. This is what I should do. This is what the teachers are telling me. They are bringing experts to come and tell us these are the things that are happening. This is how you should talk to your kid. So these things must be made mandatory. So the thing is, they're always talking about this character thing. I just don't see the relevance. They're saying 60 minutes in a week, 5 days, and that is also in 2027. And they're going to start in preschool first, then move on to primary and secondary school. Primary and secondary, they're saying 60 minutes in 5 days. I don't know how they're going to do it. So if you take an average, if they're going to do it every day, it's just 12 minutes a day. What are you going to do in that 12 minutes? Magic show. That's what I was asking. So what are you like? Okay, now you won't have issues.
The clock is set at 12 minutes. You have time to talk.
Exactly. So the thing is, this is not what you should do. You should actually work with other ministries, as you said, like the Keluarga and Wanita. Okay, invest money. Bring programs like this into schools.
Okay, one more thing that was not mentioned. I think teachers in Malaysia get a very, of course, like your point, you said that who is becoming a teacher? But the counter argument to that is that I don't think we appreciate teachers enough. I think so. Number one, if you look at the developed countries like Scandinavian countries, they pay their teachers very well. To be a teacher is a status symbol almost. Reverse to what, for example, here what we think doctors are, they think what teachers are. That's why the education is so good. So one way of solving this problem, should it be that we increase the salary of our teachers and we increase the entry requirement of our teachers?
That's a tough one.
Kevin,
if you look at MOE,
you're a teacher, so I'm basically suggesting more money for you.
No, because privatized sector is very strict in entry. But MOE, I'll say no. Because a person can just go in and they may not even be good in the subject matter and they become teachers of the subject and they're already getting allowance while they are studying in the Maktab Perguruan or whatsoever. And when they come to the school, okay, if you quote, we're not appreciating teachers enough. There are schools which are worse than us where the teachers go out of the way. I think we have seen in Sabah, Sarawak.
Yes.
The teachers get paid maybe equivalent to Peninsula, but sometimes they have to go on the boats. They have to walk through the muds. And then the schools in rural areas, they may get the equal pay like what government gives everyone, but they go out of the way. Personally, I think sometimes the urbanized areas or even the suburbs, the teachers are too comfortable. Yeah, because, the one thing that I don't agree is one class of 40 students. That is totally impossible. Because if you put 60 minutes one lesson also, 40 students, the attention span is literally very minimal. Instead of having 2 teachers, 1 class, I think we need to have more classes and split to smaller groups. And then the thing about, like what you said, whether MOE is responsible or not. Okay, let's say, Vinod, you're sending your daughters to the school. Tomorrow somebody stabs your daughter. Are you not going to get angry with MOE?
No, I'll get angry with the person. But yeah,
definitely
of course.
with MOE also, because these are things that were supposed to be prevented already. These are things that already we should already control. First of all, there are a lot of things that needs to be done in the schools to make sure that it's a safe space for kids. Be it primary. Now we have a primary kid. Actually, the primary kid scenario is even worse because for a 10-year-old kid to write diaries like that, I think we need to do a brainstorming and see why didn't any of the teachers or anybody actually notice that this boy was going through this, or we just close one eye.
Now, interesting, and I think I want to end this on a few more last few questions. But Doctor, if you notice now the trend, what's happening, it seems as if they are trying to blame this on individual elements. For example, Parliament recently they talk about Roblox. So they're trying to blame it on Roblox.
Yes.
Roblox, is it? Roblox, sorry. And then when we look at like what you're talking about, social media and all that, were these problems already there? It's just that perhaps without social media we didn't know, and it's just because it's been left to fester, now it's become this monster that we cannot control, or is it just happening now?
Yeah, can I? It's
your turn.
okay.
I
So
passed you the.
that's the thing. I mean, why are in the first place? There's no point blaming all these, right? Because if you ask me, the situation is like this now. Children are into social media. They have to use internet.
No, but as he's saying, 10 years old, she can write that. So is it something that's been building?
Yes, but it's not because of that thing that they're trying to blame on something, right? It is building in the kid itself
it's
because of the system and because of the triggers around him, because of at home, nobody realized what was happening. Even, you see, like for me, for example, I always see my kids' books because even one of his friend was like writing a lot of things in his book. Like I wrap it nicely, I send it to him, and then I see like so many things, unwanted things. But I don't scold my kid. I'll ask him, hey, look, what is this, book? Why all these, chonteng? Then he said, no, when I'm studying, he takes and he writes. Okay, never mind. Let me talk. You won't believe it. I talked to that kid. But I didn't scold him. I actually told him, look, you see, you cannot write all this in the book like this. That is why I'm telling you, parents must be friends with the child's friends as well. So when I spoke to that boy, he was actually scared that I was going to scold him. But I said, look, my dear, don't scribble. If you want to, chonteng or play, ask me, I give you paper, you play when teacher's not teaching. Don't do like this anymore. So then I taped everything up and I sent the book back. And after that, he never did such thing. And in fact, he told my son, your mom is so cool. She actually didn't scold me. She said, look, don't do like this. If you want to do, I give you papers. Like, that kind of approach. So that's why I'm telling you, they want all this, but they're not getting it. So rather than just because something happened you're blaming on something, it's not right. It's already there. The kids are facing a lot of things. It's already happening because of the triggers, but nobody is approaching it, nobody is helping them, and then they go into all these things. They go to Roblox because that's therapy for them. They want to play, and then they get in touch with pedophiles because they're lonely. They want people to talk to them, they want people to show them love. And these kids tell me they have boyfriends or girlfriends now because the main reason is not only because they like, not because it's the hormone, it's because they're lonely. They're telling me that my mom is not listening to me, my dad is not in the picture, he doesn't even care, but my girlfriend listens to me patiently, or my boyfriend gets me ice cream when I'm sad.
Nice girl. Wives like that are hard to find.
So, but that's the thing. And they're lonely and they're sad, and then they go into all these different channels.
Again, it seems to be both of you are saying the same thing, that it's the home.
And
I'll say both.
You'll say both. You'll say that. Okay, so let's end on this. So I'll start with you, then we'll go to you, Doctor.
Sure.
Let's end with this. If you could pick 5 maximum, it doesn't have to be 5, but 5 things that you would like to see done in schools to address these issues, what would they be?
5 things. First is
Doesn't have to be 5, but I just give you
leadership
maximum.
camps.
Okay.
I think we need that to stimulate more leadership among the kids and to make them feel like a leader as well. Second thing is rather than implementing, I think I need this reduced. Too many unnecessary events which are irrelevant. So I've never seen any school in this world with this amount of events.
What events are you talking about?
Okay, you see, let's say we start in January. Okay, first thing is Merentas Desa. After Merentas Desa, Hari Sukan. After Hari Sukan, Hari Guru.
yeah.
After Hari Guru, then the next is Hari Kebangsaan. Then Malaysia Day, another event. After that, another event. Then Parents Teachers Day. Literally every month there's an event, and every event is like taking 1-2 weeks. So at the end of the day, the learning curve is not there. So when that does not happen, the priority is more to events. Even the teachers may be exhausted because of it, because they're not focusing on their subject matter and other things. And one more thing is, this is the part where we need more of lesson times and lesson progress rather than events, especially in government schools. Third thing is more of counseling and serious counseling, and also identifying severe cases of bullying, because I can't agree with every child is having a problem. Some child just deserve it to really get whacked. Because they are
Doctor is very upset.
Yeah,
It broke her heart. No, but I in fact, that was my mind. No, when you are talking, Doctor, it sounds as if like every child there is an excuse. Are we excusing? But there are children among us who among the crowd that may be psychopaths, maybe pushed too far to the
because
wall.
let's say, okay, we watched this movie called, like, let's say Blood Brothers or whatsoever, there's this nice it's a movie that came out on Netflix and so on.
Yeah.
And also Jailer, like Rajinikanth's movies or Vijay's movies and all that. Suddenly everybody wants to be a gangster. Yeah, they want to act cool, they want to fight with people. So these kind of guys are just there to imitate their idols.
Heroes, yeah.
Don't know, for some reason they get hooked. Like, there's this guy called Travis Scott and all that. Yeah, they have all these kind of stories, and their rap is all very deep, and one even committed suicide, I think. So there are a lot of people have followers for that. So at the end of the day, this idolizing thing has to also shrink. So we need to train these kids to real life than real life. We need to transform them to here and explain to them, actually actors are just actors. Movies are just movies.
Yeah, they're not real.
So, like, let's say primary school having gangs, I think that comes from movies. It doesn't come from home, or it doesn't come from the school itself. So they are seeing movies like, the recent one. What was it? The KBS. There was this MMA fight. Did you read about it?
The one
they were promoting
the Warzone.
Warzone.
Oh yeah, they were promoting two kids. Yeah,
kids.
fighting. Yeah.
And the way they were arguing and the way they were fighting, wow, they're promoting these two kids to fight. I mean, the guy should be charged, man. Yeah, for promoting a child. This is basically against the law itself. Whether KBS approves it or not, that's a different story, but you are actually promoting violence in young kids. Tomorrow he's going to go to school, somebody is going to piss him off, he's going to punch that guy and do MMA stuff there. So, or even Conor McGregor, some people idolize Conor McGregor. They're not idolizing Conor McGregor because of his talent. They are idolizing him because of the way that he's wrong, and he makes himself very popular by being wrong. So that education needs to come in.
No, it's interesting you say that, because I remember. Do you remember the movie Karate Kid?
Yeah.
The first one, right? When those type of movies, although it was about martial arts, but they also had an element in those movies that talk about philosophy and morality. Now it's just extreme. In front of the press conference, they fight each other.
Fighting.
Yeah, that seems
and we can't. And it's just like, oh, I'm sorry. Like I said, it's just no. They don't. One I'm sorry doesn't solve it. You need to know that when you use kids like this, you actually pay a heavy consequence for that, even jail terms, even if you have to. So, in schools also, they need to practice. Teachers need to be put in check as well. Because if you allow public to check the books of the students, I think it will be very interesting to see whether it's marked, the amount of work that's being done in the class. And when there's no check and balance of the teacher's work, then there's no monitoring of progress.
Okay, so so do you think Kevin spare the rod, spoil the child? What do you think? I have a feeling you'll say yes.
Now I cannot say yes. There'll be a group against me.
Okay, so Doctor, yes, the 5 things you want to see implemented to solve and address these issues.
Okay, so the first thing is, children, they need safe spaces. I mean, like you're saying, yes, sometimes it seems like an excuse, but if you ask me, they want to be heard. These kids, they want to be heard. Because nobody is hearing their voices, nobody is hearing their feelings and emotions. Because when they pour out everything to me, and I deal with so many children, everyone is different. Each child is different. This is the thing. It's a tough job. It's a tough job now to help these kids, but you have to put your heart and soul into it if you want to make a difference and if you want safety for them. It's tough, but you got to do it. If not, you cannot see a future for them. This is something that everyone needs to accept. So safe spaces are very important for children at homes and in schools. So what the government needs to do, and all the ministries and societies, NGOs, they have to pump in money for programs like this for the kids, like intervention programs. You make sure it's a mandatory thing in schools. Rather than those events that you are saying, right? All these unnecessary celebration, clothes and dressing up and all this, put money for this. Kids will love programs like this because it's not going to be lecturing or teaching. It's about opening up a space for them. So they can talk. They can talk. For them to talk, for them to express. You see, there are ways to actually, like, things that I tell my kids to do. I say, okay, if you feel so angry, you know what you can do? Take ice cubes, bash the ice cubes in toilets. It helps.
In toilets?
In bathrooms. I'm sorry, not toilets. Bathrooms. Sorry. Sometimes, it is, I just speak from my heart, right? So, no, I mean like in their bathrooms, right?
Next time if I go to school, I see some kid throwing, doctor's kids.
No, this at home. You see, you feel so angry, right? You want to harm yourself or you feel like you want to stab your dad. I said, don't do it. Go to fridge, take this one and break. When you see something breaking, it gives you that feeling of, you can ease your anger. Break as many as you want. And some of them, they tried and they told me, doctor, it actually works. I feel happy actually when I was doing that. I forgot my anger at that moment. Things like this, there are many. This is just one of many. So these are the things they want to hear. They want people to smile, cry with them, share their problems with them, hug them, embrace them. This is what the kids need. So even though they might be difficult or they might be a bit rough or they might be a bit stubborn and arrogant, I think over time you can actually calm them and be there for them and they can actually change their thoughts. And even the bullies need help, to tell you the truth. Why are they bullies? Something is going on in their lives. You need to help them too, so they don't end up being a bully and continue to bully kids. They need help too. Some sort of like rehabilitation, they need it too. So many things that the schools need to do, but community and other ministries, they need to put their efforts, money into these kind of programs rather than putting it in unnecessary programs. And they also have to rope in parents. The second, I don't know how many things I've said now, but parents, families, bring them, as I said, make things mandatory, do programs for the parents, and then do new trainings for the teachers and counselors, how to identify the tiniest red flag. Even if you're not a counselor, I'm teaching maths today, but you need to know what is going on with your kids. So his idea was good. Have more classes. Why you need 2 teachers in one class? Have a smaller, a class with smaller number of children, 1 teacher there. Maybe 1 to 20, 1 to 20. Nisba, you do like that. Ratio that way. So at least that 1 teacher can look into all the 20 kids, right? No need to put 2 in one class because that 1 teacher is definitely not going to do anything. And then another teacher.
I can't figure out how it's going to divide responsibility.
Exactly.
I'm tired. Can you take over? Yeah, sure. I don't get it. Yeah.
You need one person to know your 20 kids. So that one person, that homeroom teacher or your subject teacher, so at least they will know, today this boy is something not right because I'm seeing him every day. So that one moment you realize and you ask, hey, you okay, Anaman, come talk to me today. We go to teacher's room and talk. That boy will tell you everything.
No, I think what you guys are saying is at the end of the day, it boils down to just parents at home spending more time with their kids.
That's important.
Yeah. It reduces the burden of the teacher by a huge
They need that awareness. They need that training. They need programs to tell them, look, this is happening. This is how you need to talk to your children. Show them raw cases, data, what is happening, and really teach them and, increase their awareness and make sure they open up their hearts. Tell them you can't do certain ways like how you used to do before, your father used to do before. Even if you're an arrogant person, please, that's your kid. You have to take responsibility. If you feel you need to say sorry to your kid, you have to say sorry. If you hurt your kid will open up the heart to you. Things like that. So you have to do all these programs. Big entities must, pump in money and people will come and do it for you. People who are passionate and really compassionate, not people who are coming just, to clock in and clock out. There are many passionate people who are willing to do this for the kids.
Okay, so...
And one more.
One more, please, yeah.
Last
I said
one.
5, by the way.
Sorry, I spoke a lot. But, this peer support system... peer support system is very effective. They do this in US and UK, but they're not doing it here. We need to build peer support systems for the children in the schools. Because you see, when one kid is having problem and another kid is having a problem and they're friends, they're able to talk to each other about it, right? So when we do peer support systems, these are the kids that we are helping. When we are doing programs for them, you're doing interventions, you're helping a suicidal kid, and he's no longer suicidal now because he got the help he needs from the program that he's attending, for example. He can actually help other friends, other peers who are having that kind of the same problem. So when you set peer support systems led by one student, with maybe 5 students who are having this, the same problems, they'll be feeling comfortable to talk to each other. So these are also very, very effective. If you see in the US, they have like Alcoholic Anonymous, they have peer support.
Oh, you mean those type of things?
Those kind of things, but do it in the school for the kids. Because, kids mingle with each other the most. So when they are able to have a space for themselves and people like us to come in and go, because we are actually shaping the peers. So when you have the peers, they will be able to do that for their friends. And then you reward them, 30 days. I never see porn, for example. These are for boys. A lot of them are getting into porn addiction. You don't have to feel ashamed. This is the situation, this is the issue.
Someone at that age, it's so vulnerable.
And then you reward them. 30 days. They'll feel happy and they'll feel like, I want to do this more. Like if I'm not doing this for 30 days, can I do it for 60 days? So they meet. These are the things we need to do. You have to be open about everything that's happening now and handle the issues the right way and open up the space for the kids.
Okay, so Kevin.
Sorry,
No, please go ahead. So Kevin, I'll give you the final word, man. What's your advice to parents, dude, or to anyone, the stakeholder you feel is the most responsible?
I think they need to take children's mental health seriously.
Yes.
That's the key.
That's the key.
Very seriously.
They need a lot of help. And if the first line of defense is the parents, second is, of course, the teachers and the school. But anything we do, we just need to do with considering their mental health and what needs to be done.
Okay, thank you so much, Kevin and Dr. Vinogiri. Guys, that was Kevin who's back and Dr. Vinogiri as well. Kevin wants to beat your kids and Dr. Vinogiri wants to hug them. So you make your pick. But it's all tongue-in-cheek, but I hope you guys have gotten a lot of value from this, and I think amazing advice shared by both of these educators. So if you guys have your thoughts, please share them in the comment section. Tell us what you think should be done in order to make our schools safer and protect our children's future. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.